Donald Trump loves to take credit for the economy, the military, the sunrise. If anything goes right, it's because of him. But the moment things start going wrong, it's not him, it's Joe Biden, which leads us to his latest fantasy tour about what's going on with the economy.
You frequently took credit for the stock market highs. You said it was a reflection of how well you were doing in the polls, and then after you were elected, you said the stock market highs were a reflection of how well the transition's going and the American people's confidence in your incoming administration. Now, the stock market's not doing so well, and you're saying that's the Biden stock market, yet you are the president. Can you explain that?
Yeah, I'm not taking credit or discredit for the stock market. I'm just saying that we inherited a mess, both at the borders. You could look at every single one of the people here, and no matter who it is, they're doing better, and they are far superior to what took place for 4 years before us.
Oh, he never took credit for the stock market going up? Let's look.
The Biden team can say, well, if things are so bad, how come the stock market's on a roll?
Because they think I'm going to be elected.
That you think the stock market's rallying because people think you're going to be elected?
I do, yeah. If you take a look at Iowa, if you take a look at New Hampshire, the stock market's been going crazy since then and long before then. When I announced I was running, I took the lead early, and then I beat everybody, including Ron DeSantis. I call him DeSantis now. I took the other name.
That was him in 2024, early 2024, saying that the stock market's going up because they think he's going to win. And that was just one time. Once he won and the stock market actually did go up, he said it's because people want me. They know I'm good with business, and therefore stock market's going up. And now that it's tanked, oh, no, it's not my fault. I don't want credit or discredit, whatever that means. Now, here's what's going on.
Obviously, this is just moments after we learned that this GDP number came out. It did show a drop in growth, a contraction in the economy, first that we have seen in years, in fact. And it's a sharp reversal from the 2.4% growth we saw in the fourth quarter. So, obviously, this is a White House that is stepping out to defend its policies on the economy in a moment where we're waiting to see if the first deal comes through on tariffs.
Yeah, we were looking at this. Quarter four was 2.4% growth. Quarter three was 3.1. Quarter two was 3.0. And now we're at negative 0.3%.
That's a couple of Fox News hosts going, I don't know how we're going to spin these numbers because clearly it used to be good and going up and now it's gone down. First time in many years. Then they start just throwing the numbers out. And I know in their minds they're going, how are they going to spin this from the White House? We don't know. But they sure are trying. Here's Congressman Scalise trying to spin it.
An item at Walmart goes up by double. Should Walmart be able to tell its consumer that it's gone up by double as a function of the tariff, or do you consider that, as President Trump does, a hostile act?
Well, that seems more political, but think about this. When you go to the pump to buy gasoline, did you see them putting an item when Joe Biden shut off American energy and prices went up? Did you see them put an item going, you're paying $4 instead of $2 a gallon because of Joe Biden's anti-American energy policies?
I did see delivery charges go into some. I did see delivery charges or whatever they call those charges when oil prices.
Just a note, that was CNBC that tends to be neutral when it comes to politics because they're a business channel. And they asked the guy, ask Steve Scalise, do you think that it's okay to put the prices at Walmart going up because of the tariffs? And he goes, no, why didn't we do that when the prices of gas went up under Biden? First of all, under Biden, the production of gas actually ended up going up. However, besides the point, the tariffs that have been implemented have a direct relationship to these costs going up. But the Trump administration doesn't want you to know that they screwed the economy.
The American public knows exactly what's going on, and that's why they're soundly rejecting this administration. He has the lowest approval rating of any president of the last 70 years for the first 100 days. His stock market for the first 100 days is the lowest since Nixon. Unprecedented low foreign policy approval rating and economic approval rating. The American public is smart enough to know that their shelves, if they're not already empty, are going to be empty because of tariffs. 69% say he's not focused enough on lowering prices. 62% focus too much on tariffs. 72% think his policies will cause a recession. 64% disapprove of how he's handling inflation. He continues to beat a drum that is making the absolute worst economic music I have ever heard in my entire life.
Thank God for Jessica Tarlov at Fox News. I don't know how they still keep her because she's given the truth and their viewers got to watch this. I don't know how their viewers watch this and don't have a light bulb moment where they go, wait a minute, this guy just tanked the economy and he is tanking this country. Listen, you elect a clown, you're going to get a circus. That's what we have right now. In every aspect that you look at, as Jessica Tarlov was pointing out there, the economy is bad. Our foreign relations are bad. Our image around the world is bad. Our handling of human rights are bad. Everything's just going this way. And meanwhile, I got to go, why are they doing this? Why? Well, ultimately, it's control. They want to have full power. Since Nixon fell and the executive branch lost a lot of its power, there's been a faction of Republicans who've been trying to bring the power back to the executive branch. And that's why you have all these executive orders, and they're just bypassing Congress, and they're going to the courts because they're going, okay, Congress we can put aside because they're Republican majority in the House and in the Senate. Now let's see if the courts can stop us. And the courts are trying to stop them, but they're not listening to them. And that's where you run into a constitutional crisis, which we are seeing daily almost. And this guy will not take credit for his losses. Remember when Truman said the buck stops here? With Donald Trump, the buck don't stop. It just keeps dropping. And he goes, no, it wasn't me. It was someone else. I always win. How could anybody be 100% winning? There's in human history, no one's only won. And yet Donald Trump, since the beginning of his career, when he started lying about being one of the richest men in the world, you can look it up. I think it was Forbes magazine or Fortune was doing an article. I think it was in the early 80s, and they'd listed the richest men, and he wasn't part of that, but he placed a phone call to the editor and pretended to be his own assistant and said, oh, you need to relook at Donald Trump's numbers so he can get himself in there. He's a great marketer. That's what he is. He's a great marketer, which, by the way, so was Adolf Hitler. They're great marketers. They can tell you, hey, I got the solution. Only I can solve this. Only I can solve this. And yet when things go wrong, they go, well, it wasn't me, it was someone else. Yeah, blame Joe Biden, who's been gone. He said Joe Biden, he always says Joe Biden was asleep. He couldn't do anything, couldn't handle anything. And yet he's saying now that the numbers that have gone down are because of Joe Biden, not because of his tariffs. I mean, it's been a disaster. Anybody with eyes can see it's been a disaster. There was no planning. At least if they had some kind of plan, like if the day after the tariffs, they were to say, oh, look, we actually have a plan. We have people situated in these countries where we want to make deals, and they're going to go meet with the leaders, and we're going to find a way to stop these tariffs. If there was some plan, that would be fantastic. There was no plan. I'm not sure if you saw a few weeks ago, there was a segment that Rachel Maddow did where she showed that one of the tariff hawks, Peter Navarro, who is an advisor to Donald Trump, turns out that his book where he quotes an expert on tariffs being good, the expert was made up. It was a guy named Ron Vera, which is an anagram of Navarro. So he took his own name, he flipped it around and said tariffs are good. And Donald Trump said tariffs are good. And here we are, tariffs aren't good. Not looking good. Now, the other question you got to ask is, why are they doing tariffs? Why do they have Doge cutting what was supposed to be trillions of dollars, which is not even in the hundreds of billions? Why are they doing that? They're doing that because ultimately his goal is to extend the tax cut for the rich. And if they can say that, look, we cut some money from Doge. Look, our tariffs are somehow bringing in money, but it's not being paid by you. It's being paid by someone else, but it is being paid by you. And God forbid if Walmart or Amazon tries to indicate why things are more expensive because of the tariffs. No, don't indicate that. But let people pay the higher price. Ultimately, they're trying to say, look, we have money coming in, therefore we can afford to extend these tax cuts for the rich. So billionaires don't have to pay and corporations don't have to pay. This is all a power play. These are the people who got him elected, and now they're benefiting from his presidency because he's giving them more tax breaks so that they can get richer and richer, and the middle class and the lower class can just go to hell. And if they don't like it, well, it's a dictatorship. So just shut up and do as you're told. And so if anything goes wrong, it has nothing to do with Donald Trump. Price of eggs were supposed to come down day one. They did not. Ukraine and Russia, he said, I'll solve that in 24 hours. Did not. Israel and Gaza, not solved. None of the stuff that he was supposed to do solved. Our relationship with our own allies have worsened. With Canada, who picks a fight with Canada? They're nice. Mexico, why are you fighting with Mexico? What's wrong with you? What is wrong with you? What's wrong with you is that they're all in it for themselves. They're in it to become dictators. They're in it for power. And we need to keep pointing this out to anybody who has a little bit of sanity left. They can wake up and go, oh, whoa, I voted for the guy, and I thought he was going to make my life better, but now my expenses are higher. Oh, maybe the guy didn't care about me. Oh, maybe that's what happened. I hope people wake up. Keep waking them up, folks. Guys, I'm comedian Maz Jobrani. I've got a channel right here on YouTube. It's at Maz Jobrani. Take a look. I post stand-up comedy. We need a laugh these days. And just give me a follow if you like, and leave a comment. Tell me where you came from, Rebel HQ. Bye.